Good afternoon to every one of you. I want to thank you for making time here. Before we learn something today, and that I trust is the reason why you are here, that you may learn something today. So before we get into learning, something must crank up in your body. Why? Because you have been seated for the last 2 hours, and sometimes, the blood pressure doesn't go all the way up to your brain, all right? And you haven't been drinking enough water at this last 2 hours, and so your brain is lacking oxygen in some way. So let us all stand up. Come on, everybody, oblige me a little bit. Let us all stand up so that you are ready to learn. And I promise you there is something that I hope you can take away today. Yes, just stretch yourself. Yes, stretch your hands. Okay, let the energy flow. Because when you're seated for too long, it shuts down the circulation at the mid-portion area. All right, thank you very much. Please take a seat. And some of us have all our muscles concentrated in the middle, if you know what I mean. All right, and then it obstructs some of the flow. So, this is the first time that I'm standing in front of you, and I promise not to talk about nutrition. But actually, it's not true. I will still talk about nutrition. Okay, but in a moment's time, at the end of the session. But for now, I just want to share with you a little bit of what I think is the road to success. Right? And we're looking at the road to success. And it's not like I'm already there and it's not like I am not already there, if you get what I mean. It is a progress. Okay? Because from what I know, the key to success, and you want to remember this, quote, Earl Nightingale, a very good philosopher, somebody who are very rich in his thinking patterns and in the way he looked at things. And he shared this thing that success is actually defined by a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. A progressive realization. So in that sense, I mean, I'm not really there, and yet I am already there because I'm still progressing. So this year, you will see me talk beyond nutrition. All right, and I'll go into other areas because that's part of my development, and it's part of my challenge, and it's part of me growing to live out Atomy. Because Atomy is not about products per se. Atomy is not about money. Atomy is about the worthy ideal that I trust each one of us will progressively realize at one point to another point. However, there is a key involved in realizing this worthy ideal. Now, how many of us here wants to be successful? How many of us here wants to have more money? Not everybody wants to have more money. If you have more money, I tell you, you probably have a lot of money and nothing else. But if you are successful, you will have money and everything else. Do you get my point? So I hope you will focus on being successful because there are many, many areas of success. You have success in the natural, you have success in your mind, in learning, you have success in, interacting with people, you have success because there's a group of people that follows you and you become the diamond master and the Sharon Rose and the star and so on and so forth. You become a master. But please, it is not just a title because a title don't mean anything. I trust when you begin with a sales master, you will indeed be a master of yourself, your abilities, your habits, what you like, what you don't like, and you move on to the diamond master, which describes the kind of master you are. Right? First one, sales master. Oh, I'm not good in selling. Oh, I don't want to do sale, and so on and so forth. But anyhow, we all become sales master. To get us into the fact that you need to be a sales master because the very first thing that you sell is not products. The very first thing that you sell is yourself. Because people don't buy your product, people buy you. They buy your kindness. They buy your humility. They buy your service. They buy the fact that you took time to explain things to them, isn't it? So when people buy you more than anything else. So you have to be a master, the diamond master. You are shiny. You are a good stone, solid, can cut through anything. And you become a Sharon Rose master, or one that gives out the beauty of life. Sharon Rose master. And then you have star master, where you shine brightly in the darkest part around us, because around us, left and right, there are people in need. So you better be a star master so that they can follow the light that you shine. And then you are the royal master, because it is the king that rule in society, in a place. Right? And then we are talking about the crown master, the one who is able to lead a team of royalties, isn't it? And finally, the imperial master, the one who understands how to run things in proper protocol so that there is a good respect for everybody. So we all are growing from time to time, the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. All right? So when I started out, that was what happened. I never liked MLM. Don't believe in it. The moment my wife took that form back home and I look at the word sponsor, I say, finish. Habis. It's MLM. All right? Forget it. But somehow, something inside me tells me, give it a second look. Give it due diligence. Search it out. And so for the next whole week, it's everything about Atomy. I searched Atomy, I attended the night classes, I went to the various appointments to meet with people and ask for opinions. But what's most important was there was one particular product that drew me towards Atomy, and that was the Hemohim product. The one that was what I was looking for the last 15 years in my practice as a health coach, to help people understand how to boost up immunity. So I was looking something that Hemohim fulfills all conditions. Very good research, something herbal coming from the East, something that has been able to boost immunity in the human body. So I like that. And I decided that this is something that I can think a little bit more. And when I attended all the various meetings and all that, I can tell you this, it does not support what I was looking for. So am I supposed to give up? Am I supposed to just forget it? Am I supposed to throw the water out with the baby? If you understand what I mean. Right? And so I decided that I will pursue on. All right? Now, a little bit about my background. All right? I believe that for me to be successful in my life, just like everybody here wants to be successful, I was looking at strategy. How can I be successful? And I thought, like everybody does, like all typical Singaporean do, all right? We all study very hard, okay? And so I study very hard. I get all the necessary papers that I have. And having done the academic, as if it's not enough, I went into the professional. Whenever when I was in the US, when I was in China, I go for all the professional programs that are minimally 30 to 50 hours long of training. And to this day, I'm still receiving information and getting myself trained in those areas, so that I can fully understand the human person, beginning with myself. And this is the same thing I challenge you. However, this become me. So full of the things that is going on in your mind. So full of to be or not to be, isn't it? And all of us struggles. Okay? Now, the point I'm trying to make is, bottom line, whatever is your background, whatever you come from, they all can be put to good use. They all can be helpful, but it really depends on finding the winner. And I found the winner today in the name of Atomy. And this name is very precious and very important. It is not Atomy, because Chairman's Park Christian name is not Tommy. So please, it's not Atomy. I urge you, Atomy. Why Atomy? Because the smallest thing that can happen is called the ATOM. The smallest thing in life, atom. So we are describing very small, atomy. And the next thing about the atom will be the molecule. So the next thing that can happen to you getting involved with atomy will be to grow, to become better, to become bigger, to become stronger. That's why when you think about the name Atomy, it gives you this idea that the small will bring down the big and the mighty. It will surprise everyone around you. Everyone who tells you it cannot be done, surely you can do it because this is Atomy. It is so different. It is so fantastic. You have to give it all you can to consider this, like the way I do. And I tell you how I do it. So I always measure Atomy on 5 fronts. That it is stable, it is very strategic in the way it approaches things, it is very sustainable, it is also suitable for whatever condition you're coming from, and it is very seasonal. As in, today is the best time of today. The best time that you do Atomy, because after today, it may be different. Your neighbor would have already signed up with some other groups. Your friends may have already joined another team. All right? Your prospective champions would have gone on to join other groups. The timing is today. Today is a day in which you can make a difference. So I move on to look at what I'm doing now for Atomy, and I'm living that out. So I stand and I speak because, as I told you, all right, people will buy you. And that after Sales Master and Diamond Master, and we're moving on, and I'm moving forward, moving upwards, all right, I want to be a master of myself. And I urge you to do the same thing, a master of yourself. Your habits, your choices, your decisions, your emotions, your imaginations, your memory, and all that, you can become a master. Yes, you can. All right? With the help of the people around you. Okay, so recently I was in Philippines, and I want you to know that people all over the world, they are basically the same. Everyone looking for answers, everyone looking for solutions, and therefore, it behooves each one of us to be master of ourselves so that we can be an influence for better for the people around us. That's why in Life Scenario Plan, we talk about what is your plan for the spirit part of you? What is the plan for the mental part of you, mental, emotional part of you? What is your plan for the physical part of you? And finally, what is your plan, your strategy for the societal part of you? All right? And so I was able to address the same thing to the group of people in Philippines in the one-day seminar and talk to them as well. And after the talk, I found that they had the same challenges like all of us do. They have the same emotions as we do. All right? And they are the ones who desire results. So the question now is, how many of us here desire results? I wanted to say, good afternoon, Atomy, past, present, and future. Atomy members, past, present, and future. Why? Because some of us are Atomy members for the last whatever number of months and whatever number of years. Some of us are just present members. You just joined recently. Some of us have yet to make the decision. Or you are inclined, but you're not exactly into Atomy. Signing the paper, having your ID, it doesn't make you an Atomy member. It just allows you to go online and buy stuff. But the Atomy member must be fully human. Are we not fully human? Not really. Because you are here in your body, but your mind is thinking of dinner, isn't it? You are here in your body, your mind is thinking of dinner, and maybe your memory is MLM, very tough. I'm not sure. So we're not fully human. We're not aligned. You don't agree in spirit, in your mind, and in your body. And I'm asking you to be fully human and to be successful. All these three must be in line. All right? And so the road to success today, and I want to hand over a very simple point for you to consider. The road to success, the way I see it and the way I am doing it, based on science and research, and not just my emotions. feeling good, feeling great. That's why today I'm not here to rah-rah you. I feel so great, I feel so fine, I feel this way all the time. I'm not going to do that kind of thing with you. But I want you to know, basically, the key to success, really, just to change your mind. To decide that you will be fully Atomy. Why? Because it changes the lives of many, many people that we already know. Now, the question is, how would you let yourself change your life? And I can tell you one thing stands between your success in Atomy and your current state, and that is your mind, your mindset. You decided. Remember, the chairman says, the law of own mind. The law of own mind. And your mind is actually so powerful, it determines your success or your failure. So I want to share with you, this is the research. On the left side is a typical brain cell. All right? The body is very long, and then near its nucleus are branching out, what we call branches. Then you look at the pictures on the top right area. One is full of branches. It is so rich. They are so well interconnected. And the extreme right, they are so sparsely connected. You know why? Because every day when somebody stepped on your toe, you would want to say, I want to give this person a piece of my mind. Yes? You always tell me, I want to give him a piece of my mind. So today, I give him a piece of my mind. Today, your son, I give a piece of my mind. Your husband, a piece of my mind, until you have no mind. And that's what's going to happen. But scientifically, it is true. When you are upset and when you are angry all the time, easily irritable, and many Singaporeans are like that, easily angry, easily get upset, your brain doesn't think too well because it is not well developed. So many branches, better brain development. Fewer branches, poorer brain development. The good news is, no matter what is your age, when your brain is stimulated, it will grow. It will become densely populated again. It will. All right? There are certain conditions, but basically, it will produce more connection. So learning is very important. So one-day seminar, Success Academy, attending the sessions at the centers, these are all very important because you want to grow protuberances, meaning the long stem of the body, of the brain cells. Right? Now, if you think that I've heard it all, I'm sorry you don't. Because there are many, many aspects of life we will never learn enough. We will never arrive at. How many of you agree with me? You will never arrive at. There will be some more things to learn and unlearn. In fact, a lot of us don't even fully understand ourselves. Isn't it? The things that you want to do, you don't find yourself doing, and the things that you don't want to do, you find yourself doing. That's a tricky part of human being. However, this is part and parcel of the road to success in my experience, and I want to share with you that. So what I do is that I begin to focus on the non-conscious brain. There is a conscious brain, so all of you are looking at me. I trust the light is on and somebody's at home. Huh? I trust I'm not looking at a tree of owls. Everybody light very big, but nobody's at home. Okay? All right? And when I look at the subconscious brain, and now in this case it's the non-conscious brain actually wired up to 3/5 of your brain. It is automated, it is instinctive, all right? It happens without you even thinking. However, that happens after the initial period of the conscious training, which comes from your education, comes from your life experiences, comes from your medical condition, comes from your emotion, and so on and so forth, including the failures in life. So that's why they say when you fail in life, you are better off because you are equipped to be more successful in life. When you never fail in life, you will never understand the challenges of life. And you may not be successful to the end of life. All right? So the road to success to me is about the mind. Because your most dominant thoughts will become your reality. And I say that to myself. My most dominant thoughts will become my reality. I'd like you all to join me and say it. You don't have to say it out loud. You say it to yourself now. Look at the words and tell yourself this. Ready? 1, 2, 3. My most dominant thoughts will become my reality. It will. By research, they have proven that many times. However, your most dominant thoughts can be conscious and subconscious or non-conscious. What are you thinking of all the time? If it's about money not enough, then you know. All right? Money not enough becomes your reality. Even though actually there is money enough. Money is around. It's about what you wish, what you want, and what you need. The difference of that. And so I tell myself, the more I believe, which is true based on science, about something, the more willing my brain is. And the more physically able, in other words, it will grow new brain cells, it is able to accept ideas that are similar to what I believe. So if you believe in Atomy, it will surely come to pass. If you don't believe in Atomy, then you remain as you are. And you wouldn't have grown. And the road to success really is about your mindset. Because some people will say it's 4, and some people will say, nope, it is 3. So you decide now, is Atomy 4 or 3? All right? You will find that it is always a perspective. So, the more I believe about something, the more I send the neuron impulses pattern down my brains, it becomes easier and it becomes stronger. All right? So your belief in Atomy can get stronger if you come to ODS and Success Academy and One Day and Center Talk and all that, and you keep coming together, because somehow with the very simple acts of coming together will grow your brain, literally. By research, it has been proven. But if you decide, I've heard that, I've seen that, then you are missing the point, because there is this part of the emotion and the psychological that must take place, and not just the intellectual. I heard it. I know it all. But emotionally, imagination-wise, will-wise, we have not really trained ourselves to become very strong, to be the true master. So this is called believe and achieve. The road to success, believe and achieve. It happens. So the longer you buy into the idea that you will make it in Atomy, and it is so, I've already told you, sustainability, strategy, all right, stability, seasonality, as well as suitability have already proven intellectually that Atomy is the kind of business to think about. And the more you believe, then this will become the truth for you naturally and scientifically. So this is what's going to happen for us. So let us look at this one more time. And I want to share with you the perspective that I have from the experience so far walking in Atomy, and the changes that I made to myself, and the changes that I challenge you to consider. And that is your choice. However, there is a right choice and a wrong choice. Today you make a decision, it's a right choice. You don't make a decision, you have not decided, it is still a choice of not making the decision, right? So when you do this daily, today you decide, tomorrow you wake up, never mind lah, I don't take supplement, it's okay. Today you decided, I will go for Atomy. Tomorrow, never mind lah. You know, I still have a lot of stuff. I don't need Atomy products for now. Right? Then I'm saying something is not connected here. We are talking about daily. All right? So one more time, read this out with me together. Now you need to read out and hear for yourself and hear your neighbor. Pardon me, those who are Mandarin, stronger in Mandarin, but just say along. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. No matter my goals for success, I will eventually reach an inflection point, whether I fight on or give up. Knowing what the next step is, or even how to move forward, is not enough. I must have the right intrinsic mindset in order to persist where others falter, meaning they gave up. I must adopt the right way of thinking, the right way of viewing the world, and filter out the rest. I must adopt the mindset of success. So I want to urge you, you want to get on the road of success, it is about adopting the mindset of success. You can do it, you will do it, all right? And this is something that has been proven. How do I know? Try this out. No, maybe I take that word back. Not try, do it. Nike's formula, just do it. Just do it. The more you think, the more confused you get. Just do it. But the doing produces new brain cells, and then the feeling comes. The doing will cause the brain to think, and the thinking comes. A lot of us want to think first, and then I do. Okay, let's see what Atomy can tell me today at ODS. Let's see how much my friends can convince me. Let's see whether my sponsor can convince me. Sorry, we do not convince you. At least I do not convince you. Because there's such a thing called the law of own mind. You convince yourself. And how can you convince yourself? When you do and not when you think. When you do, and then the thinking will come as proven by science. Your action will cause a new brain cells to begin to grow in your body. So, first thing, I challenge you to consider doing. All right? Are we ready? Just 3 things. Do the 3 things, your life will be different by the end of the month. Okay? What do I mean? Number 1, you got to put on the right lens. What makes us think that we are looking at things correctly? Unless you are very learned. And even for myself, I told you, with so much of what I have been seeking in terms of information, there is still a lot of obstacles, a lot of things that I don't understand. And I'm still learning and growing, and I challenge you to do the same thing. Put on the right lens. Decide that this is something that you are going to do. Why? Because when you have the right lens, you will make it. You will be able to break through tough times. And Atomy will have tough times. The problem is not Atomy. The problem is not the delivery. The problem is not about delivery guy dump the stock outside your lift or outside the door. Please get over it. Because Atomy is a much bigger business than just the nitty-gritty issues that we all face. There will be tough times. Because life is such. Put 2% together and there will be issues, isn't it? Right? So wisdom is knowing that I do not know. And so put on the right lens. Your sponsor, your leaders, they have already walked ahead of you for a while. They understand. So they tell you. So the trick here is to follow. And I tell you, the science of following is a very developed science. And the science of following is something that a lot of us don't fully understand because we want to know and we want to decide and we want to be in control, which is natural but not practical. So the true art of success is following success rather than you decide to carve out your success. There's no need to carve out anything for Atomy. The system is set, the people are in place, we fit in. All right? And so, what can you do? What can you act? Everything that you learned today, everything that you have received, words of kindness, words of encouragement, words of wisdom, whatever, everything that you have heard and everything that you have seen, I urge you, do. And you will have success and you will understand the road to success. And one day you will be the one doing here, standing here to share so I can take a break. Okay, so the mindset of success, stick to it. This is what you have to do. This is not my problem. This is not your sponsor's problem. This is your challenge. Stick to it. Decide for yourself, I will have a mindset of success. What does that mean? Number 1, all right? Find somebody you can follow. Get to know the person. Pick the brain. especially your sponsor. If you think your sponsor, you feel your sponsor is not good enough, and don't think that way, because if you do, you are saying you are better than your sponsor. But by sheer experience, your sponsors are better than you. Right? So learn from your sponsor or your sponsor's sponsor. Your upline leaders, learn from them. They have done much more in their experience, and they will be able to help you. Become their friends. However, ask the right question. You ask the wrong question. How to be successful? I don't have the answer. Even if I give you the answer, would you do? You may not do. Right? So asking the right question is very important. Let us move on. The second thing I'd like to urge you to do, as you learn to change your mind, all right, change the lens, the way you look at things around you, all right, and as you have sponsor and follow them, the next thing I want to urge you to consider will be to think about you, yourself, in the future. The future you. Look back now. We are right here. Assuming today is the future of 3 years ago. Look back. All right? Imagine you were 3 years ago and you are looking at yourself now. Do you really like yourself? Are you so excited about yourself now? So 3 years later, what would you like to be? Because if you're going to do the same old thing in life and expect that the 3 years later you'll be different, then Einstein say, you must be crazy. Doing the same old thing and expecting a different results. So I challenge you to think clearly now. One more time, ask yourself the 3 questions deep inside. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What do I need? When do I need it? Why do I need it? Think again. The road to success boils down to being able to answer these questions and carry them out. Okay? And the final thing that you can consider on a daily basis, all right? First thing, you get up in the morning, set up your minds correctly. And one of the things you can set up your mind correctly is water. That's why you need to drink water first thing in the morning and oxygenate your entire body, including your brain. And of course, the next thing will be Hemohim, because it will also impact your brain. It does. So coffee can wait. Since we talked about coffee just now. All right. So third thing, all right, after you set it up, and then you decide what you're going to do. Ask yourself, what do you need? Why do you need? And when do you need it? Finally now, understand this. It will never be plain sailing. It will never be smooth. Even an imperial master today is thinking about how to manage the wealth that they have accumulated, how to look after their partners to help them resolve their challenges and help them achieve what they have achieved. And how to be people of integrity, to learn to give away some of their wealth to bless society. That's what the Imperial Master now have to think about. All right? Of course, it depends on your definition of success. It depends on your definition of struggle or your definition of challenge. But I know one thing. No stress, no outcome. So I always ask this question. How many of you can tell me now? By now you should know me. If you don't want to have stress, what can you do? What can you do if you don't want to have stress? Very good. Don't breathe. Don't breathe and you'll never have stress. The moment you breathe, there is stress. Physiological stress, mental stress, energy stress. Your cell take the stress. It must generate the ATP, the energy for you to continue to breathe, to exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen and so on. So, stress is good for us. It's called eustress, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S, eustress. It is not distress. That's the one that destroys you. So, discomfort is a positive. It's called eustress. Yeah, I have to get up. Okay, of course, that's good for you. Then there is life. Okay? And then get on. I have to do some exercise. That's good for you. I have to walk to the next room or something like that. That's good for you. You are improving. You are pushing past your limit. You are getting better. Okay? So what can you do? Talk to 10 people daily. I've already accomplished that today because I'm talking to about 100 of you. Talk to 10 people as often as you can, daily. Challenge yourself. It's very difficult. It's very uncomfortable. Challenge yourself. Send out text messages. Can you not do that? Call up someone. Can you not do that? Send an email. Can you not do that? Interact with 10 people. I didn't say talk about Atomy. I just say talk with 10 people. And then the Atomy story will come out very naturally. It does. It always happens. Because people will be talking about health conditions. People will be talking about money matters. And people will be talking about their future. All of which I have Atomy. And that's how we can share with people naturally. Okay? So, just a reminder. The true reality is about following someone. Okay? Who? And the who is your belief. Who you believe determines the true reality. All right, so we have seen the factory. Some of us went to Korea. We have seen the chairman. We have watched him over a period of time. Can you believe him? You have seen your leaders. You have watched them standing here, going down, time in and time out. Can you believe them? Some of you have seen me several times. Can you believe me? Get to know us, all right? And then strengthen your belief, and that is your reality. And then the mindset. Once you adopt that mindset, you choose to believe. That is your best response. But if you choose to find fault, surely you will find it. Because if you start looking for fault, there will always be fault. And you will become very good at that. But does that help you? All right? So, ABC, very simple. Stick to your dream. Adhere to your dreams. Begin with your end in mind. How would you like to end? Begin with your end in mind and challenge to the final line. All the way. I'm still challenging. I'm growing. There's so much more we can do. And I challenge you to do the same thing. Right? To adopt the best mindset. The best way to adopt the mindset, okay, is to know why. And it has to do with your most precious person. Could be your parents. Could be your child. Could be your spouse. Could be your siblings. Could be a good friend. Could be whoever that is dearest to you. The why is very, very important. So, who is Atomy? So, just to refresh your memory and for people who are here for the first time, who is Atomy? I don't really know who you may say, but I can tell you this now. They come from the result of an organization called the Atomic Energy Research Institute with more than 1,300 PhD scientists, researchers and all. They come also as a result of the Carey and Coma, which has 20% of its total employees who are researchers, people looking for answers. And researchers and PhD scientists, they are very good in looking for answers. Because for the first 3 years of their PhD study, they keep asking questions. They have to write about 200 articles per year for 3 years, asking the right question in order to find the answer. Okay? So, the point I'm trying to make, you have a very strong set of people who have already done the research for you in terms of the products. In the same spirit of delivering quality product at low price, can you trust the same spirit that says you can be successful because that's what we would like you to have? Is it not true? And so, they have a range of products. Now, if you still don't believe me, if you still never do anything, then I know you are lacking in nutrition. You are, biologically and intuitively. Why? Okay? So let's talk a little bit about that because that's my area. I always want to live it out because I feel that you must walk your talk. So very quickly, I highlight to you now that food is your most influential factor. So if you cannot decide whether it's Atomy, try the food. If you cannot decide whether you want to do Atomy as your career, consider the food. All right? Somehow there are some perhaps short circuit that you're not really thinking through. And I say that with all, with very mindful of some of the implications, but honestly before you, yes, physiological lack, biological insufficiency is a possible factor why we cannot think straight. I've done that many, many times with patients who says, I cannot take this, I cannot drink that. And after 10 days of cleaning that out and giving them good food and all that, they can take it without any problem. So food changes the mind, in case you haven't realized. So back to the story of Hemohim for the third time today. And if you still do without Hemohim, then you totally missed it. Okay. Hemohim, what will it do? For all its functional substances and improving your immunity, which includes what's going on in the brain. And the brain suffers the greatest amount of balancing act that it's supposed to generate because it is firing all the time. But having said that, there is a second and most powerful brain, and that is called your gut. All right? Your gut, meaning your stomach, your intestines. It is recognized scientifically by research as the second and most powerful brain because it generates more activity. And so Hemohim is found to be able to repair and rebuild the gut as your body responds if you are taking them regularly, so that it will begin to send the right signal and the right information to your brain, and your brain will begin to do its function, do its job totally and fully. It all begins in the gut, via what is known as the vagus nerve from your gut to your brain, firing 80% of the time information to your brain, and your brain releasing only 20% of the time information to your gut. So this is what they found, even though it's in rat studies, but rats and the human DNA are of 95% similarity. The second product that you want to think about will be your ginseng. Why? It is already known to help in your brain function. Just now you saw the very densely connected brain and the loosely connected brains because of all the synapses that are supposed to be there but not happening because of the lack of nutrients. So it will improve brain function and boost immune system again. And there you are in terms of cognition, meaning can think or cannot think. All right, there you are. Very high consistency in its research result. And of course, the next one, the subjective well-being, your sense of well-being. That also helps you to feel good, to feel stronger, to have less of what is known as buyer's remorse. Have you heard of buyer's remorse? I joined Atomy, after that, regret. I buy something, after that, I don't know whether it works. That's called buyer's remorse, and that's called nocebo effect. Remember, I talk about nocebo effect. So the point I'm trying to make is food also helps you along. So finally, the mindset for success involves a kind of supplementation plan, and I submit to you, number 1, water, number 2, Hemohim, and then after a short while, you can have your breakfast, assuming they are very healthy breakfasts, and not your cha bee hoon and your chai tao kueh and whatever cha, and your brain all get cha as well. Okay, go on with your defense mechanism, which is your vitamin C, your probiotics, and your milk thistle, which will help to clean up your blood in your liver, and there your blood is cleaner in the brain, so to speak, and then your omega-3, which will help to improve the electrical impulses that goes on in your brain all the time. Somewhere before lunch, you may have a late morning drink. If you can, your ginseng. If not, after lunch, you can still have your ginseng. Okay? And again, coffee can wait. So then you have your lunch, whatever you're taking. Before lunch, if you can, squeeze in your spirulina, which is very well known for removing your heavy metals, which is one of the key problems of the brain not working well. All right? And of course, your vitamin C, your probiotics, the second round, before lunch, and after lunch, somewhere before dinner, you can think about Hemohim if you want to go for the second round, and you should. if you want to work on your brain for a short term, okay, the same items before dinner, replace your dinner, better still, if you like to do that. At the same time, lose off some fats, all right? So you're less toxic in your body because of the fats. The fat stores toxin, and then your omega-3. All this will enable your body to work and your toxin level in better control, and you can think better. And with that, thank you very much for keeping awake. Thank you very much for listening, and I trust you will do something about it. Thank you.